Hello and thanks for watching. I'm Grace Lenehan. This week at Otterbein, it's homecoming week. The Great Westerville Food Truck Fest was a success for the community, and the Otterbein football team will look to get back on track against Wilmington this Saturday. But first, we look at an Otterbein freshman who stepped up when a fellow student was in need.
Otterbein freshman Sean Conley left Garst Hall during move-in week to meet his girlfriend, but as he stepped outside, he saw a fellow student in need and sprung into action.
Kind of heard a crash, which what I later would find out would be her suitcase dropping, and my girlfriend's face kind of dropped, and I could tell that something was wrong, and she's not the best in high-stress situations, so she just kind of like pointed over, and she was like, "Oh my God, that girl's having a seizure," and so I immediately ran over and saw a girl right in front of Angle. She was on the ground and she was convulsing, having a seizure.
And luckily for that student, Sean is CPR and AED certified thanks to a lifeguarding job he held over the summer.
She was kind of drooling out of her mouth, so I rolled her onto her side so that she wouldn't choke on her like saliva and stuff. And I just kind of rolled her over and checked her pulse all the time just to make sure that she was fine. And she was breathing, just taking like short gasps of air. But like I said, there's nothing you can really do for it except wait for them to stop, and she did stop convulsing.
Otterbein Police Chief Larry Banaszak says Sean did the right thing and helped reinsure their slogan that at Otterbein, no one gets hurt.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to that individual. You know, Sean did the right thing. He stepped up. He saw that there was a medical issue there and that this person needed help. He didn't run and ask anybody. He didn't hesitate. He stepped up and got this individual the help that she needed. And that's a perfect example of Otterbein taking care of Otterbein in the community approach to safety.
And as a side note, if helping students during medical emergencies isn't enough, Sean also helps in laundry emergencies as well. Josh Overhalser, This Week at Otterbein.
In recent years, Otterbein University has attempted to increase the diversity at this institution. You may be seeing more and more international students around campus and wondering how they are adapting to life at Otterbein. Jeff Dimas has this report about a student from Bolivia who has found her passion here.
The name Jennifer Wilson doesn't sound like a typical Hispanic name. That's because Wilson is the product of a bicultural family. Her father is American, her mother is Bolivian. That may be part of the reason she wants to combine those two cultures into her passion.
Well, I thought I could combine my Hispanic heritage, because actually my dad's an American. My mom is the Bolivian one, so I was born and raised in South America. But I wanted to combine both my American and my Hispanic backgrounds, and now obviously I live in America, and make a fusion of it so fellow Hispanics, Americans can identify with it.
But it's not just a passion. Wilson's aspiration is a lofty one.
I would love to host in Hispanic television. So there are like some pretty big national TV networks that are out there that I would definitely try to work for.
For now, Wilson is content to study, make contacts, and practice for her dream job. Jeff Dimas, This Week at Otterbein.
Now, Joe Van Dootingh joins us with Arts and Entertainment. What's going on?
This past Sunday, there were over 20 food trucks in Westerville for the Great Westerville Food Truck Fest. This festival was held to benefit the Westerville Area Resource Ministry. This event also gave people the opportunity to help out the community. Many Otterbein students were also there helping out. Grace Lenehan tells us more.
This past weekend, over 20 food trucks rolled into Westerville for the Great Westerville Food Truck Fest. This event, hosted by Westerville Area Resource Ministry, was a fundraiser to help benefit WARM, but also gave people the opportunity to help the community. Cheryl Wooten of WARM tells us more.
It is designed to bring about awareness of hunger issues within the community, and then to celebrate community that's come together and so graciously said that if there's a need that they'll help.
An organization called Generosity Feeds was there packaging food for needy people in the community. Over 10,000 meals were packaged on Sunday at the Food Truck Fest.
It's to raise community awareness and to raise an opportunity for people to not only be concerned about hunger issues, but to come together and just tactfully put food together to be able to give to residents and their neighbors.
There were also many Otterbein students there, as many of the Greek organizations came to help out. There was great entertainment, lots of food, and it was a great opportunity to do something good for the community.
Social media without hearing about the new Apple iOS 7. Danny Lebstock breaks down the new update on this week's Tech Bite.
I'm Danny Lebstock, and for the next 1.3 gigabytes, you're watching Tech Bite. Last week, everyone and their mother was bombarded with tweets, Facebook links, chain emails, postcards, telegraphs, telegrams, and even smoke signals about the brand new iPhone 5S and iPhone 5C. But what you might not have heard about is iOS 7, a new version of Apple's mobile operating system that was released this past Tuesday. iOS 7 is the first major redesign for the operating system since being released in 2007. And whether you think it looks sleek and modern or like it was designed to fit in a 5-year-old's birthday party, they've added a bunch of new features worth checking out. One of the most notable features is called Control Center, and it gives you quick access to music controls, brightness, toggles for Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, and the like. Some say this feature is long overdue since it's been on Apple's competitors' devices since the dawn of time. But better late than never, right? The other big story from Apple this week is iTunes Radio. iTunes Radio allows you to create radio stations based on a song or artist to find new music similar to it. iTunes Radio will be included with an iTunes Match subscription or free with advertisements. iTunes Radio is launching this week via iTunes and the iOS App Store. This last one is for you social media junkies. A recent study shows that Twitter may actually be making us smarter. But I disagree. Justin Bieber just tweeted, "Gotta run," and got 78,000 retweets. So I'd say the jury is still out on this one. However, like the Biebs, I gotta go. I'm Danny Lebstock, and you've been watching Tech Bites.
Jordan Brown in Now with Sports. And Jordan, this is a big weekend for athletics here at Otterbein.
It is. It's homecoming weekend, and with it being homecoming weekend, we have a lot to update you on in the sports than what's been going on the past 2 weeks here. Yesterday, the women's soccer team headed to Delaware to take on Ohio Wesleyan. Entering the game with a 1-3 record for the season, the Cards looked to get back in the habit of winning as they came off a 3-game losing streak. Otterbein scored first, and they scored quickly, only 7 minutes into the game. Heading into the 62nd minute, freshman Polly Sellers inserted a 2-0 lead for the Cards. Keeping the momentum, freshman Madison Birchfield scored the last and final goal of the game, giving Otterbein the W. Otterbein looks to begin a winning streak as they host their home opener this homecoming Saturday at 3:30 against Manchester University. The Otterbein men's soccer team moves to a 3-3 record as they suffered 2 back-to-back losses on the road this past weekend at Denison and at Kenyon. Despite goalkeeper Kyle Ritma's 4 saves, Denison was able to keep a 1-0 lead going into the half and later scored again in the 57th minute to guarantee the win. Sunday, Otterbein took on Kenyon as the game was scoreless going into the half and remained that way until the 67th minute when the Lords unleashed and eventually would score again to seal the victory. Otterbein looks to turn around their luck on the pitch this weekend as they host Ohio Midwestern this Saturday at 1 p.m. The Otterbein football team looks to redeem itself this homecoming weekend after enduring a 28-0 loss against the number 24 ranked St. John Fisher in their home opener. Otterbein struggled early as St. John scored twice in the first half and continued to score throughout the game. 2 3-yard rushing touchdowns left Otterbein in the dust and closed out the Cards. This Saturday is the first OAC game of the season as Otterbein takes on Wilmington College at 2 p.m. It looked like an unstoppable season early on for Otterbein volleyball as they started 8-0, but a tough Wittenberg Fall Classic left the Cards with a 9-3 record heading into Tuesday's game against the University of Northwestern Ohio. A difficult 4-set loss left the Cards looking to bounce back this weekend as they go on the road for the Carnegie Mellon Invitational in Pittsburgh.
Well, thank you, Jordan. On behalf of the entire news crew here at Otterbein TV, I'm Grace Lenehan reminding you to make this week at Otterbein a great week of Otterbein. Thank you.